A great turnout here in West London, home of course to George Groves, local Hammersmith boy. George, I tell you what, I've seen you a fair amount in the last few weeks. You still seem as cool and calm and composed as ever. That's a pretty good state of mind to be in before Saturday night.
Yeah, of course. I'm confident. I said that from day one. I'm confident. Carl Froch has never showed me anything before this fight was announced that I feel would trouble me for this fight, and since in the build-up, he showed me even more. Just give me even more confidence. He's in for a tough night. He's in for a tough night. I think he knows it. So I can't wait to get up there and show him.
We were with Carl in Nottingham yesterday doing his workout. There was the tactic show, of course, last night. How did you think Johnny did with Richie Woodall? I mean, they went pretty heavy on Carl, didn't they?
Well, that's to be expected. I'm used to that now, but my mate Johnny stood up for me, and he backed me for as long as he possibly could. So, I'll explain my tactics for this fight. Carl, I'm sure, is unsure of how I'm going to approach this fight, whether he thinks I'm going to hot tail it and get on my back foot and run like Darrell did and beat him, or whether I'm going to stand at the centre of the ring and bash him up like Ward did. I can pick and choose. I know what I'm going to do, and I will tell him. I'll tell him at the press conference. And then, if I'm right, like I believe I'm right, then I'm going to watch him drowned on fight night.
Super fight, Johnny, isn't it, for the super middleweights?
It's going to be an amazing fight. Does it bother you at all that so-called professionals like myself and other so-called pros go with Carl on this?
No, it's to be expected. You're forced to give your opinion, and you're going to go with what the majority of people are going to say. I think if you had an invested interest like I do, and you broke down each fighter as meticulously as we have, then you'll see that I'm all wrong for Carl. I've got far too much in the toolkit for him, and so it doesn't bother me what anyone thinks, because I know I can go out there and do the job.
Okay, break it down for us and tell us how you beat Carl Froch Saturday night.
I'll tell you at the press conference. Carl don't need to hear it now. You don't need to hear it now. He looks like he ain't sleeping well enough as he is. The last few interviews I've seen him with Ray, he looks troubled. I let him have a couple of nights, the best sleep we could possibly have. I let him know out of the way. I'll let him know at the press conference.
Okay, what have you seen that makes you so confident in Carl's previous displays?
His defence isn't good enough. His hand speed isn't good enough. His feet are not good enough. His punch power is only effective on a static target, and I've seen him, as I said, I've seen him get beat, whether he's got the decision or not. Throughout fights, I've seen him struggle with a guy who's boxed on the back foot, the front foot, and standing at puncher's range. Now, if you've been beat, there's only three ways you can fight a man: going forward, holding your feet, or going back. And if he's been beat by, good quality fighters, he's shown a blueprint to be beaten, and it's just up to me to prove now that I'm also one of them quality fighters.
I've got one more. I think there's a method behind your madness of getting under Carl's skin. Is it calculated, or is it just you being you?
I don't need to get Carl rallied up for this fight. He could chop with a composed head on those shoulders, and I'll still take him apart. So it's regardless, it doesn't matter. He's winding himself up. He's called me disrespectful when I haven't been disrespectful once. The only time I was disrespectful was when I called him a chump on ringside. Other than that, this man is other than that, you go through everything I've said. I've praised him. I've talked about his achievements. I've talked about this, and all I've said is that I know how to beat him, and explained a few things of how I can beat him. Disrespect that I've been shown is that, first of all, he doesn't acknowledge me as a challenger. He's snooped as low to say, "Oh, my breath smells," he won't shake my hand and things like that. I think it's a bit hypocritical for him to stand there and say I'm disrespectful when he can't even show me that decent courtesy to shake my hand. So, but people will believe what they want to believe. So it ain't gonna matter after fight night, because he's crying on about legacy. Legacies are made in history. You can't have a legacy and still be in the position that he's in. I think what he's worried about most, and I spoke about this with my trainer, is that it's okay going abroad, going to America and getting beat by American. And it's okay going to Denmark and getting beat by a Dane. Because you come home, you still got that home support. You still got that, who's an overseas fighter. What's he going to do after Saturday night when he goes home and everyone in England's saying, "Oh, I know Groves kid's all right. You know, he bashed up Carl Froch. That Carl Froch ain't as good as we think he is." He's going to have to live with that. So if he can handle that pressure, fair play to him.
You mentioned legacy. He says he's going to absolutely obliterate you on Saturday night. Do you think you're going to tear up the book and take it to him, stop him, and finish Carl Froch once and for all?
I'll finish Carl Froch. He will not hear the final bell. He will not be able to stand up to my punch power, and I'll be hitting him too frequently and too accurately. His chin's a good chin, but it's showing vulnerability. It's showing chinks in his armour, and I'll find it and I'll finish him. And then after that, it's up to him whether he wants to box on.
So you really believe the passing of the torch, this is the new era in the super middleweight division, comes Saturday night in Manchester, 20-odd thousand people at the Phones for You Arena. All these guys I'm sure will be watching on Sky Sports box office, and this is something not to be missed because it's a changing of the guard.
That's it, I'm here and I mean business. I'm here to fight anyone in the world. I'll show up Saturday night and beat Carl Froch, beat him convincingly, and then that's it. I'm here, I'm a British world champion, ready to represent this country across the world, and I'm here for a long time.
Finally, how happy are you to see your West London friends, your support from the area?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I've always wanted to come down and have an open media workout, to have at Westfields, and have so many people show up on a Tuesday is great. It's quite humbling, touching.
You look like you don't have a care in the world. He looks a happy fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, George Groves.